Hi guys, what we're going to look at today is Jamboard. So when you're using Jamboard, you would go to your Google Apps, you click on the little waffle or the grid, scroll down until you find it, click on that, and Jamboard is great to use when you're doing remote learning and you want a whiteboard. But you can use Jamboard and assign it to your students individually so they can have their own whiteboard to either collaborate on with another classmate or to just do brainstorming or whatever assignment that you have them to do in Jamboard. So I'm going to first show you how to create a Jamboard, and then I'm going to show you a Jamboard that I've created. So Jamboard, all the ones that you've created would be right here. Any that you've shared would be right here. If you want to narrow it down and just say owned by me, you can click on that so that you can just see the ones that you have created. You can decide how you want to sort it, how you want to view it, and you can also open a jam right there if you have a jam code. But if you want to create a jam, you would click on the plus symbol. And a Jamboard is just like any other app. You can share it to Google Classroom. Like I said, you can make a copy for each individual student, or you can make it where it's collaborative. Now, the thing to remember when you're using it collaboratively is that everything that you can do in Jamboard, your students can do. So you have to think about how do you want to use this. So here are your tools. You have the pen, the eraser, you have the select arrow, you have your sticky note, which is the one that I like to use because it's quick and easy. You can allow them to add images, and you have your laser. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when you're adding a sticky note. So you have the option of typing something, and you can choose the color, and you click save. That gives you an opportunity to create a new one. If you don't want to create a new one, you just click cancel. So if your students are collaborating on a specific Jamboard, they can add their sticky notes, and when they do, it stacks on top of the other. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So when I add a second sticky note, it's going to stack on top of that first sticky note, and then you can have the students unstack them as they creating their sticky notes, or you can say, I want all the sticky notes in a pile stacked up, and then when you're going through the sticky notes, you can create the setup how you want it to be. So you can go through the sticky notes and look at the students' responses. You can change the background of this Jamboard, and you have different slides and different backgrounds you can use. So you can have a different background per slide. You can do a grid view if you're doing math. You can do a solid color. And when you click to another slide, your students can also click to another slide without you. So once again, if you're doing it collaboratively, you have to think about how you want to use this. If you're doing it independently, then of course it's up to them. So let me take you to one that I've actually created. I teach 8th grade, and we teach Flowers for Algernon. So the character has to take an ink block test. So I give my students an ink block test. And I thought this would be a great way to use Jamboard by having the ink block posted here and just asking them, what do you see? And you see the responses of the students. I can take this and move it around. I can move the sticky notes around, enlarge the sticky notes. So remember what you can do, your students can do. So you have to set some norms. Make sure they're not deleting anyone else's sticky note or duplicating or changing anything on their sticky note. And since the ink block test has several ink blots, you can put one on each slide and ask the question again, what do you see? So this is a great way to collaborate, and I would use it for something simple and fun like this that I don't really have to hold the students accountable for. If it's something that I'm going to grade and hold them accountable for, then I would create a Jamboard per student so they have their own copy and they're only responsible for their work and cannot interfere with anyone else's work. So this is something fun and simple where you can just have the students respond instead of responding verbally. If we're meeting on Google Meet, then they can respond through Jamboard instead of opening up their microphones and trying to respond that way. So through your Jamboard, you do have options of saving that Jamboard in different formats. You can download it, save it as an image, remove it, even make a copy. And also you can share the Jamboard just like you would anything else. So I have attached a link in the description that gives you some templates of Jamboards and just some different ideas of how you can use Jamboard in the class. I hope this was helpful.